let's talk a bit about the touring and how that's kind of developed you as a stage personality in a way. So you take over from Peter and you go on your first show, which I think was Toronto, sort of.
London, Ontario.
London, Ontario, right. So at that point, it was totally new. Phil's leading the band. And then a series of tours leading up to absolutely massive. But by that point, you're a huge star in your own right. But I just wondered whether, did you kind of start to realise that this was, you know, you get off the drumming stool, you start singing on the record, and then the stage thing is a whole other thing. You know, the presentation of the songs and the personality of. Did you kind of feel your way into it? What are your thoughts about how that you kind of developed to the point where you could hold an audience at Wembley?
Well, I mean, I didn't really. It just gradually happened, you know. So there was never one particular moment. I mean, the Wembley shows were you know, very special. I mean, you know, for me it was, you know, I mean, it was still the old Wembley, and it was, you know, this is like football territory, and it just seemed that everything seemed to peak at that point. You know, I mean, thinking about the set at the time, the Home by the Sea, where the lights were coming down, you know, it used to make the story up that, you know, if you'll put our hands in the air and go, ooh, maybe so the lights would come down or the stage would go up. I can't remember now. But, you know, to get 80,000 people, or how many people, they were all doing it. I mean, it's great when that happens, because, you know, from a personal point of view, you're actually there looking at it. It was a great, you know, spectacle.
Did you? Because there's a real playfulness in you kind of talk to the crowd. You sort of warm them up. You kind of you sort of titillating them with what's about to come. And, yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for. I know all these people here would have to get out of the way. Yes, the moment you've all been waiting for. It's audience participation time!
I think that's probably where the serious critics kind of had a bit of a problem, because maybe it was little Tommy Cooper, maybe it was a little bit of somebody else, you know. Where is this? Where is the place for this in music? You know, I mean, Peter used to have his Mysterious Traveller stuff, where he would be very deadpan and talking very, you know, relating very strange story, which, you know, sometimes was different each night, but most of the time was in a very deadpan voice, and you could hear people hanging on every word. And that worked. I mean, it was great, you know. But you kind of tend to sort of, when I became a singer, I kind of, you know, did what I felt most comfortable with, which was sort of being slightly humorous. And I know I always said that, you know, if people laugh, they relax, and if they relax, they absorb more. You know, so, you know, it worked. But, I mean, you know, it was probably, you know, some over-the-top mugging, you know, I don't know. I mean, sometimes it's a little bit embarrassing to look back on it. It didn't seem embarrassing at the time, but but it was great fun
Yeah,
to do, and the audience liked it, and the audience related to it. So.
We're going to try and do something now which is very, very special, because I think tonight we have something very, very special going on here. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel some sort of strange, strong communication going on here. Am I wrong? I think I am wrong. I think I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong. No, forget the whole thing. Doesn't matter. Forget it. We'll do something else.
I thought what your brilliance was that it was a personal connection with the audience. You were actually, everyone's kind of like enjoying, almost like you're taking them into your confidence or something. You know?
Yeah.
You know, you're chatting to them and what's Phil going to do and say next? You know, they're absolutely loving it. I mean, you can tell. And I think that's amazing.
I should have carried on, shouldn't I?
But how you kind of click into realizing you've got that talent, you know, or is it like you said, it just crept up on you? But you kind of walk out there and you feel completely at ease with this now. Wembley, you can do it.
Yeah, I mean, the earliest shows, obviously, you know, I was terrified in Toronto, or London, Ontario. It got a little easier with every show, you know, and yeah, I mean, it just got easier. I mean, there's no other way around it. I fell into it, and it wasn't too demanding. I mean, it was. I was tapping a side of me that existed. It wasn't like I had to come up with something that was kind of alien to me.
Did Tony and Mike, I mean, they obviously slot in and enjoy it, and on stage then there was Daryl and Chester. Mm-hmm. They're all kind of playing along in this kind of you know, it's like the group are having fun and the audience have fun too. It sort of carries over. Everyone's
and I also think that if I mean, that they would love that it was working. You know, I think sometimes it's difficult to talk about this stuff. I mean, I think that they were glad that it was. It took a bit of weight off their shoulders, you know, because this, you know, what they're going to do is play the music, and there's another sort of element in there, which is helping, you know, and sorry, I don't know what else to say.
That's fine. I won't carry on at this point. I think you've done. No, I mean, I understand it's really, you sort of, it's something you've got or you haven't, and you've obviously got it. And,
well, I know. I mean, I didn't rehearse in front of a mirror and do it. You know, I kind of. It just kind of developed, and I guess the more you see it working, the more you can take chances with it. I mean, I was a very big I still am, but I was a very big Steve Martin fan, you know, and when I look back on some of those shows in the 80s, there was a lot of his stage act in there, because I felt nobody had heard of him, you know. And this was my little secret, and I was quite surprised how much I got away with without anybody saying it. But I suppose being English, you know, by the time I interpreted it, it had come out a little bit different, so people didn't. I mean, I wasn't ripping his per se. It's just that the manner, his, you know, his the way his comedy was. We used to quite a lot that way. I did.
Can I push you to give us an example?
I wish I could come up with something very good, but there was, well, just even like, well, good evening, you know, No, I won't. I won't. The thought is better than the actual. But I did it with Brand X and the Genesis shows. Even some of my own shows. I remember, occasionally I will see something and I'll think, my God, I got away with it. I mean, it's basically just the Steve Martin routine. I mean, when I introduced the band in my band, it would be a lot of those, when we play. It would go. We'd have Invisible Touch. The guys in my band would go do da 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 do like a lounge. It's a Bill Murray kind of thing, and I said, "Thank you very much, everybody." Now, okay, I'm glad to introduce, and it was. It would be, the whole thing would be taken into a different place. I mean, the band introductions could last 15 minutes. Because it's something that we all really enjoyed doing. And I mean, that's a long time for an audience to not have any proper music. It's just a series of little comedy jokes. And, how are you feeling tonight, Don? Absolutely fabulous. He's feeling fabulous, everybody. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that fabulous? I mean, I used to love it.
There was somebody over there, and there was that group over there. This group over here sounded okay, but over there and over there definitely did not sound into it at all. So we're going to forget the whole thing. Unless, no. Okay, we'll do it then.